One of the most expensive things that you do inside of the trucking industry when you have a trucking business is pay for insurance. That stuff is expensive, depending on different factors. So what are some of those factors that makes insurance cost so much? Well, of course, the biggest thing is your driver. If you are the driver, or if your driver's the driver, you have a separate drivers. But drivers, of course, their driving record, whether they've had tickets or accidents, are obviously going to play a part in how much you pay on insurance. But probably one of the biggest factors is being a new entrant. So if you're a new entrant, you just started your company, they don't know anything about you. They don't know whether or not you've got you're going to not have any accidents, or you're going to not cause liability issues, which is things that are not necessarily accidents, things that can happen to you, like dropping a clipboard off of your trailer. Don't believe that can happen? Happened to one of my drivers. And those things cost insurance companies money. So they don't have any history to go by. Sure, you got a clean driving record, but that just proves that you're driving somebody else's vehicle, that you were clean driving this vehicle, maybe you're not. So that has a big factorization on there, is the new entrant portion of it. Believe it or not, one of the things that adds to your insurance cost is your credit score. A lot of people don't realize that insurance is tied to your credit score. It's not because they're loaning you money or anything. I've heard that before, that they're loaning you amount of money to pay for the insurance. That's why it's the credit score. The insurance companies look at your credit score as a predictor of how good you make decisions. If you've made bad decisions, you typically have bad credit. And if you've made good decisions, you typically have good credit. So that's why it enters there. It has nothing to do with financing. Another factor can be the equipment. If you have an expensive truck, say a brand new 2025, GMC Denali dually, it's $100,000. That can be expensive because you have to carry coverage on that vehicle. And that, if you wreck it and total it out, that's $100,000. Versus if you have a 2009 or 2008 F350, extended cab or whatever, it's going to be a lot cheaper to have that. So that can play a part there too. Now, there are people out there that say that the CDL, having a CDL makes your insurance cheaper. In fact, having a CDL does make insurance cheaper. They give you a break because they factor that you've now gone to training in order to drive the truck that you're going to be driving, and you're going to be safer on the road. Sort of the problem with that is there's no factual data that say that people that have attended driving schools are any safer on the road than people that haven't attended driving schools. There is data on the road that show that people that have CDL licenses are less likely to have an accident than people who have non-CDL licensing. That is true. The problem you run into is if you have to, it's going to cost you $5,000 to go to a school, not including the downtime attending the school, right? So the time you're not actually out there driving, earning money. You don't have a job, so you're not earning any money at all because you got to go to school during the day. That's the best way to do it. So if you start factoring all these things in, you have to think about your offset. So you have to think, okay, it's going to cost me $5,000 plus all the money I'm not going to make. How much is that going to benefit me in my insurance? So let's just say, and there's lots of insurance companies and lots of rules, but let's say it saves you $200 a month. So at $200 a month to get your $5,000 back, in 20 months, you're only talking $4,000, right? So you have to then say, well, maybe because I can haul more cars. Well, I've covered that the CDL doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make more money because you can haul more cars. There's costs that come inside of hauling more cars too. It's not just a matter of, the equipment's more expensive, of course. There's lots of things out there that cause it to cost you more money. So you got to factor all this stuff in there. Think smart. Think businessman. Think you want to make money, right? You don't want to spend money. So if you want to know the things that cost insurance and the way to look for insurance, you can ask any question you want. I'm pretty well versed in it. Thank you.